I think we are good to go here. We'll do it live. Refresh. Let's hope Streamlabs doesn't crash. Refresh again. Copy. Paste. Paste. Share your screen. Frame rate 15. Bookmap. And we're live. Welcome, welcome. This is the last full week of October. It is the Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024 Bookmap stream. It is now 10:30 on the dot, and we have yet another slow day. In fact, slower than yesterday. Yesterday ended up to being a pretty decent activity. Today is even slower. Main liquidity on Bookmap today for NASDAQ is 20,425. ES has a little bit more. 58.70 down to 58.55. Just 3x my daily goal on the first day of a new funded lockout. Nice, Trippy Mike. Well done, buddy. Go enjoy the rest of your day. So, not much going on today as well. I'm still of the opinion that this week is a great week to kind of kick back and do other stuff until the onslaught of volatility the next 2 weeks. Next week is going to be phenomenal volatility. The week after that is probably going to be the most volatile week we've had since 2022, if I had to guess. FOMC rate cut decision, and of course, the election. Crazy, crazy stuff. As for now, though, we don't have really much going on. We are still in we're in a micro downward trend on NASDAQ since about 8 o'clock in the morning. We're beginning to break that after defending the weekly lows. We just bounced beautifully off of the weekly lows, which is a fantastic point to counter. A little bit of red action this morning, and then of course we have a VPA high volume bottom wick at 10:05, and we defended right on top of the weekly lows. Fantastic. We also had liquidity there on Bookmap to show us the trifecta for bottom wicking off that area. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So from here, I'm just looking for a gauge on what to do. A very slow day, so probably not going to be much trading today. Not much more trading today. Well done, Trippy Mike. That's awesome stuff, buddy. Awesome stuff. So more green coming up after the bottom wick, and now they're heading higher. Most likely they'll attack the 15-minute POC, which has been the target the past 2 days, into 470. NVIDIA is recovering. Microsoft still is on the upswing from yesterday. VIX now down to 1850. So turning and burning premiums. In terms of calls, right now they are selling massive puts and buying calls. So everything for the time being looks bullish. $58.75. CVD is still quite red here, so you see that the algorithm is still sellers, favoring the sellers here. They've recouped some of this, but overall, let's see. XLF is flat. All the X's are mixed. We woke up today with 8 of the 10. 80% of the S&P was red, and the 20% that was green was barely green. Now they flipped that to about 50-50. But even still, it's barely green, barely red. VIX is back down to 1848. NASDAQ has recouped pretty decent recovery. ES is a little bit less. They're still both in a downward trend that initiated at, or NASDAQ about 7 o'clock in the morning. ES back since 2 o'clock in the morning. They've been in the steady downtrend, and they're only down 20, 30 points, but they've now shifted off all liquidity lower on ES. So if ES were to take out 58.71, I would gun for 88 on ES. NASDAQ is trickling a little bit lower here. ES is there. Missed out on buying calls when ES was 5858. Nice. What's the latest macro in gold and treasury rates? Yeah, so that's the big hot plate item now is the yields and treasuries right now. So there's a lot of crap out there, of course, a lot of clickbait, a lot of death and destruction and, fire and brimstone type of deal because of what's going on here after the rate cuts. It's because it's doing what people did not expect. Because 50 basis points, the yields are back over 4%, the 10 years are rocketing too, and the bonds are getting crushed. So I think that's the hot plate item here. You're starting to see a lot of, the influencers talk about the crash of the real estate market, foreclosures are going to rocket, auto loans are being foreclosed on left and right, the banks are starting to scramble, real estate investors are losing money, etc., etc. Because the interest rates are not coming off. How many people have bought adjustable rate mortgages or HELOCs, which are adjustable rate mortgages, that are now coming up for adjustment in the next year? Because it's a 3-year cycle to adjust, and 2021 this is the third year for adjustment of rate cycles across multiple adjustable rate mortgages and HELOCs and all that stuff. So you're starting to come to the period where all these interest rates are starting to adjust, and people were doing this hoping that the interest rates were starting to come off, and they're not. And if you take all of that and you put it in a box and you add the fact that insurance premiums are rocketing, now you've got a home that's now got the mortgage, and your taxes and interest rates are phenomenally high. You have high appraisal amounts for your homes. You've got taxes are high, interest rates are remaining high, and insurance premiums are high. So it's the real estate market is I guess expected to pull back, although who knows. So yeah, interest rates and gold and silver, of course, in the reaction to those and inflation. So yeah, we installed ourselves. Nice. Yeah, it looks great. That looks great. Very cool. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in doing that. 100%. 100%. $58.70. NASDAQ is 433 and creeping around here. They've got liquidity shifting higher to 450 or so. But Obviously pretty slow stuff. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Interest don't matter if people don't get a paycheck. I think the jobs issue, lack thereof, is Prince of Majors to the market. That too, yeah. Yeah. 58.70. Fine VPA reading hard to play because of all this choppiness. Yep, I agree. Choppiness isn't really meant to be analyzed either, because volume price analysis, a lack thereof, or a lack of volume, lack of sufficient price action, then you can't really do VPA, can you? Which means modus erebus, buddy. Hands off. Sometimes the best trade is no trade. Even though we had a decent little bounce off of that weekly low with a nice little high volume bottom wick, but other than that, hands off. I've been very hands off the past 3 weeks. Four, three, one here. ES is 58.70. What's a good volume for SPY? It's all relative. I don't have a certain quantity that I look for. It's all relative. In a low volume environment, high volume will stick out like a sore thumb. In a high volume environment, then you need to be able to have higher than the normal. So it's all relative. You're totally off grid, are you? Very nice. That's really cool. You have well water and solar, all that stuff. Nice. What ticker should I be watching for all this discussion about bond rates? I'll show you. I'll show you my bond watch list. How about that? Here's my bond watch list. Come back up here. A little bit of green. All right. What kind of battery bank did you do? Double A's. A bunch of double A's. So ES is 58.71 here. Again, nothing much going on. The only thing I've got on Bookmap for the time being is a very light book. Very, very light book. But they've now shifted off of 58.56. So It's still trickling higher here. Now that they've taken out 70, 79.80, probably going to be the next target here. They're pretty much doing the same script as yesterday, just on a very tighter scale. Call buying and put selling for the most part. This morning was all put buying, call selling. Now it's call buying, put selling, all showing higher deltas to the upside. Hero indicators pointing off, and we bounced off of the 5,800 block of support in the market. And up we go. Oil news is now posted. They're having an aggressive sell right off of macro levels. So short opportunity right off that level. And now we're just kind of rolling down. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Dropping back over. $58.73 coming higher here. So oil is still shifting lower. Oh man, apologize for being so boring today. There's not much going on. Not much trying to stay active here. Big ol' hammer on the 15-minute for show. Do you stream every day on your Discord? I do. Yep, I stream every day, Monday through Friday. With the exception of any kind of market holidays or my own personal vacations, every day, Monday through Friday. I stream just like this. Yep. Every 8 months to a year, I change up the stream a little bit. I'll show something different, but it's been pretty consistent for a while now. Large green on NASDAQ. Very nice, Lib. Was that a pressure tank I see to the left? And a hot water heater. Very cool. I love it, Parker. I love it. Top wick on a yes there. 449. $448. Dude, this is awesome. I need to learn from you. I have to figure out how to prepare for a wood-burning furnace, because I'm putting in a traditional HVAC in the unit, obviously in the house, but I want to hook up at a later date, like 2 years down the road. I want to be able to hook up a wood-burning furnace because I have a whole crap ton of land that I could put wood on. So I have to learn how to do that before I put drywall up. Anybody have any pointers? I'm all ears. ES is now rejecting the 58.75 area. That's the pivot from 930. That's the morning high right now. Morning high is a great place to pivot on a range day. Very low power requirements and excellent heat. Nice. The reason why I want to go with the wood burning though is because I have access to a lot of free wood. Pellets I would have to buy. That's why I would want to go with wood. Go to Home Depot and already go find it. Yeah, I already found a drywaller. His name is Santiago. Dude's fantastic. He's on it. Good to be back. Thanks for your morning analysis. I hit my daily goal and locked my account for the day. Thanks for seeing it. I appreciate it, dude. The dude abides, baby. You're very welcome. I appreciate you being here. How can I send you pictures of mine and information? Talking about pictures of your wood stove, I hope? Or your wood-burning fireplace? Or furnace? Holy crap, if I get it right. You could throw it to me in DM or email them to me. optionsmillionaire2020@gmail.com. $58.66 ES dropping. NASDAQ is top wicking off of both hitting the morning high and rejecting. So beautiful point to reject the morning high. Get a splitter. No, I like doing it, man. I like doing it by hand. It's fitness. We don't use it anymore, but use it to heat up the cottage in minutes during winters. Nice. Post email here. We go. Options Millionaire 2020@gmail.com. Nice little top wick there. Shifting liquidity to 475. Overall, though, this is a pretty hands-off day. Couple of good opportunity for a small scalp to bounce off the weekly low. Now the rejection off the morning high. Fantastic levels. Yeah. That's true, Uber. Yeah. I'll definitely get one eventually. What I really want to get, though, is a sawmill. One of those portable sawmills to start milling up some wood. I've got a crap ton of walnut trees on my property that I can mill up. There's a nice rejection, 2408, dropping debt back off. Hitting back lower. ES is 58.63 and dropping off the morning high. That's a pretty nice dump. In a morning of chop, that's a 10-point move lower off of the morning high. I like it. Liquidity on ES shifted back down into 58.58, and for the first time today, we have a robust iceberg hitting the tape. Almost 700 quantity. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's about slightly above average. Growing up, we didn't have heat, so it was my job to cut wood and to get the fireplace going before my parents came home. Grew to love it. Nice. Yeah, it is stress management, man. I love it. Something about chopping wood and burning a fire. Fantastic. 58.64. Looking for this to fill down into the 60. Nice iceberg. My favorite Christmas gift: a wood stove. So much more efficient, cleaner, and better heat. Oh yeah. This is the second time SPX has broken the bottom of the wedge. Any thoughts on that? I would probably guess that eventually this is going to break through that ascending wedge and go lower. Yeah. It does appear that eventually the sellers are going to win out here. There's a lot of move over. The problem is there's no volume. Until I have a high volume spike, I still can't take a short position unless I front run. There's nothing wrong with putting on a speculative front run position. I just can't put any kind of confident position sizing on it. That's the difference. Until I see that, I can't do it. Alaskan walnut makes great cabinets. Absolutely. Another iceberg. Well, that's still the same one. It's just growing it to 1,000. So watch it. That'll be pretty aggressive shake and bake. Man, it's amazing how great you can trade when position sizing are small. It's like the closest thing to paper trading that you could do when you trade small. It's a fantastic experience. What would be the next level in SPY if we break today's low of 580? Let's go take a look. Going out to the daily chart, of course, the ascending wedge that we are breaking in the time being. A macro next level is 574, and then the big dog level is 565. 565 is the line in the sand before things start getting spicy. That could easily be attacked in about 8 sessions. Not 8 days, but 8 market sessions, which is about 2 weeks to a week and a half. I'm challenging myself to stick to VPA as a primary indicator. Confusing, though, when you see technicals that seem bearish, but VPA doesn't show the move ready. My biggest piece of advice to you all to begin trading more effectively, of course, the obvious, small position sizing. We talked about that. But keep your brokerages closed until 10 o'clock. Do not log into your brokerage account until 10 o'clock, period. And you'll do far, far better. Yeah, I completely spaced on the floor heat. You know, out of all the things I planned, I completely disregarded radiant heat in the concrete. Until literally I was getting ready to put down concrete, and the concrete guy asked me, like he's there, like putting it, like getting ready to pour it, and he's like, "Do y'all not put in any kind of radiant heat?" I was like, "Didn't even think about it." So no radiant heat for me. Yeah, so 565 is the line in the sand. I would put a big old fat level at 565 on SPY. If that level gets taken out, we're talking another 40, 50 points on SPY at least. And that probably will not happen until when the big dog move comes. You'll need it in Alaska. Yeah, but I've got a whole bunch of polar bear rugs, so that helps. Top of the hour, 10 o'clock. Can you get into geothermal heat? I've looked into that. It's quite expensive, although, you know, I was talking to Agnostic. He says if you go horizontally, it's far cheaper, and I've got plenty of land to go horizontally. We just filled a 1,000 iceberg here at 58.62. We are now below yesterday's low. And if we can hold today under yesterday's low with no bottom wick, because the past 2 sessions have had aggressive bottom wicks. The problem is, though, no volume. So if we can get under 58.60 and hold under 58.60, there may be an actionable trade down to 57.80, which is only, you know, 80 points down. It's not that crazy. But We could possibly take a speculative swing short to 57.80 if we can get today to close below under 58.60, because that's what we're going to clear that support. We're going to clear that supply, that support that's sitting there, and if we can absorb that and clear it, we may be able to get down there. But again, to my opinion, everything is is low confidence until the volatility picks up, volume picks up. They are starting to place on some icebergs here for the first time today, so that is a condition change in the market. $58.61. Are the icebergs buy side or sell side? The fact that we're not clearing those and they continue to put them on, they do appear to be buy side icebergs. Again, they could change, but to me, that's what I'm taking them at now. Now, if they're still downtrending in lower, then yeah, possibly, but they are bottom wicking off of it at this point. Strong advice because it seems like we lose most times before 10:30. You talking about the brokerage account? Well, what I'm saying here is some people leave it open and they have the itch to trade even the shaking and the bacon in the first 30 minutes. So I would say don't even open the brokerage until 10 o'clock. Some people, they trade better in pre-market. They trade better in the first half hour. They like the momentum. But I like to, and if you take a consistency target over months and months and months, my consistency is the best if I do not trade until 10 o'clock. If I could trade between 10 o'clock and 11:30 and then shut it down, period, if no ifs, ands, or buts, my success rate would be even higher than it is. So now there are conditions and environments where it's better to trade the afternoon. Most of the time that's untrue. I myself face periods of that. I think back in May I faced a period where the afternoon was the best time to trade. But over the long haul, if I took my trades between 10 o'clock and 11:30 and then shut everything down, I would be much better off over the long haul. This is slower than some cold molasses right here. Apple could suspend the Vision Pro as soon as next month. Oof. You mean people don't want to pay $5,000 for goggles? Who's using Blusky platform? What's Blusky? Blue Sky. Is it Blusky or Blue Sky? If they attempted to go with Blue Sky, then that's a poor business decision making in terms of naming the company that. $58.62 still flat. There's not any supportive bounces yet. So, for the time being, I'm still listing towards short to 57. I don't trust anyone but Top Step. Is it a prop? Is that what that is? I thought it was Blusky. Yeah. What levels y'all talking about? Go to the 70.25. 70.25 is a little bit north of where I would put it, but it's a good, pretty close. 70.5 level. I like it. I like it. I like it. Speaking of which, $58.62 still back and forth. Is CL liquid enough to give me to not give me? Oh yeah, oil is like the third largest futures traded in the world, behind the S&P and Nasdaq. So if you want to trade futures, CL is right on up there. You're never gonna have a liquidity problem. Three for three today. Two longs, 443. Limit sell 3-4. Nice. Currently holding a CL short under 70.94. Beautiful. You're well done. Appreciate it, buddy. You're doing some great work. I know you've been posting your MNQs, man. I like it the past week or so. You're consistently profitable. I like it. 3 for 3. 3 for 5. 1 for 3. It's awesome stuff. Keep it up, buddy. Yeah, oil is wonderful. Fantastic. Keep it up. More icebergs coming on down to 58.60, 58.57. I would like to see maybe a touch of 57, sweep down a few points, and then bottom wick. So today's top wick on ES is rather short, but if we get higher volume, that would suffice for VPA signal. I know the top wick would be a larger for a strong signal. Yeah, so for me, on the daily chart, if we got to close under 58, let's call it 58.60. 58.60 would absorb support and start to have the sellers show strength. And then the pull away volume. I don't want to see high volume at the bottom here because that's going to tell us we're hitting buyers. What I want to see is a low volume push through 58.60 and then close under 58.60 with no bottom wick. No bottom wick. And then the sellers can induce high volume selling. Once we absorb support, it's okay for selling volume to start to hit in a large matter and dump it. But first, we have to get under 58.60. What's up? You're very welcome. Sorry, Dan. What time is it? 10:10, 2:20? 10 cents a minute? It is now 10:10. My brain is stuck in the 90s. 58.60. Here comes 57. $58.58, dropping. They just filled another iceberg here at 58, dropping back over. Position sizing is a huge game changer. Sticking with micros on Nasdaq till uncomfortable. I can't stress it enough, man. the hack, the cheat code is position sizing. Go small. If you want to experience what it's like to trade trade real money like you're trading paper trades, small position sizing. Go small. It's much more enjoyable experience. Especially on Nasdaq. Don't be a jabroni. All right, so we just touched bottom liquidity. We just filled the last remaining iceberg on the chart. I could foresee a potential liquidity sweep down in this area. The mid 58.50s will be the bottom on ES, somewhere in this area. My potential for a long here. First time watcher. Saw your option in a Futures Pro Con video. Nice. Thanks, Joe. Can you explain for newbies your overall channel, preferred platform, stock, or ETF futures? What about you? Yeah, sure. So I'm a VPA trader, volume price analysis. I trade based on volume and price action. That's my number one foundation. After that, you can put on other stuff there, but it's foundational VPA. So I trade with IBKR. IBKR is Interactive Brokers. That's where I have all my personal funds. I also am a Top Step funded trader. I do trade prop firms, just Top Step, and nothing else from time to time. A little bit of red coming off here. Let me get back to you. Let me watch this right here. This is a key point on ES. Still dropping 58.52. We have at the moment pretty aggressive put buying, 1.6 billion puts, and this is a key moment here for a possible sweep. This is back into last week's levels. Last week's lows right here. Key level. 58.53. The icebergs have stopped. Nvidia's starting to roll over. New high of the day for the VIX. 1895. Negative 13,000 CVD and dumping. So there's still no supportive measures. An incredibly light book otherwise. And dropping 58.53. If they give out last week's lows, they have the overall pivot technically is 58.50. So somewhere around this area is where they're going to start doing their shenanigans. But nicely red. Nicely red. $58.52. Still dropping. Let's go take a look at Nasdaq there too. Nasdaq has down into 345. Negative 1500 CVD. Very light book in their respect. There goes the Dow. The Dow is now tanking 58.47. That is a new, took out last week's lows now. 58.46. Now they're dropping. Exceptional. Second highest volume candle of the day right there on ES. Now they're rolling it. They have now taken out the micro trend line, and now they're approaching the big macro one from July. $58.49. $50 back up. Another iceberg on the tape. Yeah, so stock or ETF futures. I trade futures and options. I do have a long-term portfolio where I trade stocks. And I do recommend newbies trade stocks. They start out and trade stocks to begin with. That'll keep you in the market a lot longer. So still down here. VPA still says down. We have no bottom wick. That is on the 5-minute the highest volume candle of the day by far, and zero bottom wick there. Oh, I'd say zero. Very, very small bottom wick. So the sellers are still very much in control there into the main area. So this is a key level. We have a small bottom wick off 46, which does take out the prior week's lows. Right here. Nice and red. Major put buying and a small amount of call selling. Still red. Yeah, it was a nice red candle. Tesla broke lower. Yeah, Tesla got dumped. I'm dumped. I'm still long-term bearish on Tesla. I still maintain that the downside target for Tesla is 200 modestly and 180 aggressively. The VPA says downside all day long on Tesla. Now they do have earnings today, so that could change things. But as I'm looking now on the daily chart for Tesla, 200 and 180. That is a breakdown chart target, breakdown chart all day long. 58.50 on ES. Does it seem to you like a recession is on the horizon? I think we're already in one, and I'll keep it at that. I think there's a lot more cloak and dagger stuff going on, but yeah. But the data. Yeah, tell me about it. A little bit of red still. No VPA signal for long yet. This is a likely target for a long, but VPA says no long yet. We're still down. Bottom wicks can't hold. Selling volume is strong. Liquidity is still down to 58.45. $58.49. $58.48. Still trickling lower. They might just sweep those lows and bounce. This is likely where they'll do it at the moment. It definitely seems heavy, and the put buying is very strong. But this is likely where they'll do it. They dumped it back down into the 58.47 right at last week's lows, and they're holding it on the highest volume candle today in the 15-minute. So that was a high volume influx, and the 15-minute and the 5-minute. Early days for sure, for sure. So got 9 minutes left in the stream. Breaking news. Candy prices are expected to remain elevated for Halloween. What's your favorite candy? What's your favorite Halloween candy? Do not say those mothballs. What are those? Milk. What are those? I don't remember what they're called. It's terrible. There's the bounce. Twix is good. Sour Patch Kids is good. Yeah. Milk Duds? Oh, yeah. I will ban you if you say Milk Duds. It's terrible. Another day of hitting profit goal. We're still on track with a funded account. Nice, McGurky. Keep it up, buddy. There's the bounce. Right in this area. Reese's. Reese's Cups, man, are fire. $58.53. Dots if you want your fillings removed. A little bit of green back up there. So they are defending this low here. But unable to go anywhere without top wicks. Wife ordered furniture and wants it moved into the place now. Love it. Do you think even though it's removed, they'll go for 280 area on NASDAQ anyway? Let's go take a look. It's possible, but I have to go one level at a time. Right now, the base is right 320, 310, right in this area on NASDAQ. ES can't hold a bid for nothing, so it's still down trickling. You know, ES does not look like it wants to bounce here, because even this candle is fading lower. NASDAQ is holding up a little bit better for the time being, although that's about to change. But NASDAQ right now is at its last week's lows. Hasn't broken through them yet. But it's there. ES has already broken through by a couple of ticks. It's just a slow little downtrend here. ES has not bounced since 2 o'clock in the morning. ES has, or NASDAQ has, they've done their own little bounce, but they put on that little 130-point bounce there. But overall, we're both downtrend for ES and NASDAQ overall. Just slow. It's just slow. They are toying with disaster here. This lower area, 5860 on ES, they're at risk of coming into the 5870 or 5780. I'm sorry. $23.33 down. Very slow stuff. All right, so what? 3 minutes left till the stream ends, and I got to call it a day. Let me know if you have any questions. Nice little move lower here off of the morning high. That, to me, there's two possible good trades today. The VPA bounced this morning on NASDAQ. Beautiful off of the 10 o'clock move. High volume, aggressive bottom wick that held. Nice little move. The second trade was the morning high. Both on ES and NASDAQ. Beautiful, beautiful tap of the morning high and complete dump off of that. Here, that's where you start getting a little shaky. This is where you start getting fake outs, sweeps, liquidity grabs, all that stuff after this time frame. So, two great opportunities for trades. Now we're coming back down. ES is testing below 58.60, which is the overall weekly low, and toying with disaster down into 58.30, which is the big dog macro level going back into July. Beautiful rejection off of it. Coming back down. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is what I'm talking about. Right there. And we're now coming back down to the bottom of that range. We take this out, 5,700, 5,720, somewhere in that ballpark will be the next area. Right now we have put, buy, and call selling for the 0 DTE time frame. So, nice, Dan. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. 58.48 now rolling back over here. You see them building liquidity up and down. Mainly here at 58.45 for ES. There's more liquidity here on NASDAQ than ES in terms of their own respective quantities. The 8 a.m. 1 hour candle on NASDAQ, would you say when that candle failed, that would be confirmed to see a good short opportunity? 8 a.m. which time? Which Eastern time or Pacific? Or Mountain? Or Greenwich? 300 on NASDAQ dropping lower. ES is now new low of the day, 46, and going down even more. Still, no sign of buying yet. There's no VPA long signal here. It's all down. Eastern, 8 a.m. Eastern. Let's see. When that candle failed, yes, it would be a good move down. But you would have to have entered about 58.59 or so to go short there. But yes, that candle failing is a big deal. That's that 58.60 time that, or that price that's crucial for the S&P. SPX approaching 5,800 mark. Yep. So 5,800 on the SPX is the line in the sand for spot gamma. We break under 5,800, that's when we start looking for bias short on the macro scale. So watch it. Anyway, that's 11:30. That is the hour of Bookmap stream. Already went over the two opportunities there. Again, if you have any questions, DM me, hit me up in the emails, shoot at your question in the channels, whichever. Other than that, I will see you all bright and early tomorrow morning. in the Discord. So bright and early. Love y'all. Have a good rest of the day. I'm out. See you.